Shreveport Mudbugs Media Luncheon. Mudbugs coming off a great weekend last weekend, back-to-back shutouts over the New Mexico Ice Wolves, winning 2-0 on Friday and then winning 5-0 on Saturday. Congratulations to Mudbugs goaltender Aiden Garapi for getting South Goaltender Player of the Week in the South for his goaltending efforts. This weekend, another big weekend for the Mudbugs. They'll host the Amarillo Wranglers this Friday and Saturday. It'll be a hockey horror weekend starting this Friday. We'll have a 4 for $44 pack where you can get 4 tickets and 4 pregame skate passes for $44. Be sure to give us a call at 318-636-7094 and lock those tickets up. A lot's going on Saturday. We'll have trick-or-treating from 6 to 7. You want to be sure to come out for that. We'll also have our scariest table competition, kind of in a Halloween theme. To enter that, you have to email Lauren at mudbugshockey.com. The winner gets 8 tickets to any Mudbugs game of your choosing. So you do want to be able to be a part of that. We'll also have glow-in-the-dark post-game skate. You'll have to buy the glow-in-the-dark shirt at the Swamp Shack, and that'll be your ticket to get into the glow-in-dark post-game skate after the game. So lots going on. Once again, give us a call at 318-636-7094 or log on to mudbugshockey.com. Here to talk about last weekend's series sweep over the New Mexico Ice Wolves and this weekend's series coming up against Amarillo as Mudbugs head coach Jason Soupy Camp.
Dave Bricata looking good.
Obviously, things are going much better than, say, 4 weeks ago or whatever. What has been the biggest difference you've seen in these fellas these last 4 games?
I don't know. I mean, I think that really they just continue to get a little bit better every day. Cliche, but they really are. We haven't really changed much of anything. We haven't done any drastic line changes or anything like that. I think guys are just maybe getting a little more used to each other, being a little more detailed, in all our systems and stuff like that. And Saturday night we found a way to bury a few that, just crashing the net hard and banking them in or getting little rebounds that were just kind of found a way to squeak through the goaltender, and we were able to knock them past the line, whereas I think in games before that we weren't really scoring those goals. So special teams did a pretty good job here lately for the most part, and really it's just been goaltending, defensive play through our forwards. It's been pretty consistent.
Was there any smack talk going on before the New Mexico series that I guess kind of led to all the rest of this weekend on the ice?
No, not that I know of, actually. I don't know what happened, to be honest with you, unless the players were doing it on their own. Between their staff and our staff, there was no smack talk, no animosity, no nothing. It was just really actual professionalism, and but I guess maybe emotions got the best of themselves out on the ice, and obviously things happen, but the league will take care of all that with suspensions, and hopefully guys will learn from it and be a little better from it. I know the fans love it and stuff like that, but or most do anyways, but and it happens in the game of hockey, but for the most part, guys don't want to get suspended. They want to be playing every night if they can, and but again, things happen, and it definitely happened Saturday night.
From your perspective, you're watching this kind of unfold. What's going through your mind as it really got heated up there on the boards?
Really, I don't want anybody to get hurt regardless, if guys are going to fight, then they're going to fight, it's just, you don't want to see any of the dirty stuff. And really, I don't think it was that dirty of a series myself. I think we've had way worse. I guess we just had a couple scuffles that turned into more than just a little scuffle, but as long as guys aren't really getting hurt with malicious plays, I think it's just within the physicality and of the game.
How does that affect anything moving forward? Does it at all?
Yeah, well, we'll have at least.
Outside of suspension.
Oh, no, just suspensions, which puts other people in the lineup. But other than that, no. You gotta learn to toe the line, right? You gotta learn to play aggressively, but also at the same time be disciplined without putting your team in a hole and without doing anything stupid. And So that to me, that's part of it. There's sometimes guys' emotions get the best of them and they step over that line, and you just got to learn to not do that. So to me, that's part of it, and hopefully we get better from it. But we still don't lose that physicality and willingness to engage, to be physical if that time calls.
It seems like that any deep Mudbugs playoff runs feature a team that you were just talking about a little while ago. Crashes in net, picks up those little dirty rebound pucks, put them back in the net, does all the little things better than the other team does. Are you starting to see those kind of characteristics come to the forefront?
Well, we definitely did Saturday night, and you harp on it and you harp on it, and hopefully they start listening after a little while, right? Like the Akimov goal Saturday night was a really nice goal, nice, he dove down, nice little pass, nice fake, and he scored a nice goal. But I think we had maybe 3 others where we were just sniffing around the net front or crashing the crease, and we were able to find those rebounds. And those are the dirty goals that win you series, because a lot of times teams are locked down defensively by that point, and the only thing you can do is try to find a way to get the puck to the net and get a guy at the net or 2 guys, somebody else crashing the net, and hopefully it bangs off you and goes in, or the goalie can't see it, hits him, and there's a rebound laying there, and you're able to whack it home.
When you're going over a film session and you're taking a look at, okay, here's what we did wrong, then you can bring up something like that. Look at the benefits when we all do this or when this happens. Which one seems to be sticking with these fellows a little bit more? The things that they do wrong, they learn from it, or the things that they do right and want to do it again?
I think they kind of tend to learn from the things that they do right. We still show them both, maybe more of the wrong sometimes, but they've been tracking, like back checking much better and hunting pucks down much better. We showed them a couple positive clips on that. They've done much better with that. And then, you always show like those goals that you score that are just a simple play of getting a puck through and a guy net front, because the goalies are good, man. If they see it, chances are they're going to stop it. So you have to get in front of them and have to make life difficult for them. And that's, if you're going to generate offense, you have to be able to do that. And I think for the most part, they're kind of figuring that out a little bit.
With suspensions, kind of on the way, how much do you have a chance to work with your bench players for to step up?
Every day. The guys that aren't playing much, they're out. They're skating on Sundays, even though they maybe didn't get in a game Friday or Saturday. They're knocking on my door, catching me. Hey, can we get on the ice Sunday? And that's one of the great things about being here. If you're not seeing the ice time, or if you're coming back from an injury, we have all kinds of ice for guys to get on and continue to, not lose that edge and continue to improve. So, and they're here early in the morning every day. During the week, they do the practice, and then they stay on if there's extra ice afterwards, which a lot of times there is. So they're getting a ton of work. So hopefully when they get their chance, they're ready to step in and not lose a step.
Imagine that your netminder is not standing right there. What would you say about his play this last couple of years?
I'd say he's made the best of his opportunity, and it's not like he was bad before either. We weren't playing well enough in front of him, and both of our goaltenders were making big saves for us, but man, like sometimes you're asking a little too much if you keep asking them to make big save after being, you're giving up 25 shots and 15 or 16 of them are grade A's. But I think it's a mix. I think it was a mix of us playing a little bit better in front of him, but he still had to make some big saves for us, and I think it's a little bit of a confidence thing for him as well. Just being in the net regularly and getting used to being here too, and finding his own way that works for him. And I think is just slowly his confidence has grown a little bit through practice and games, and here you have how he played the last 4 games, which is pretty awesome. And but I don't want to say too much. I just want to let him keep doing his thing and let the guys keep playing in front of him.
Halloween weekend being celebrated. What's the most scared you've ever been inside this Coliseum?
Well, in years past, there's a thing where, I don't know, they keep points on who gets scared around the holiday season. I've been, I'm glad I know now. But I don't know. Well, now I know I'm gonna. It's usually that, you know. You can walk around. I would love walking around here whistling and hearing myself, and then somebody will jump out and scare the crap out of you, you know. So that's usually it. But there is a ghost around here too that most people don't know about, and so that makes some weird. There's some weird noises that go on around here at night when you're closing this place up by yourself. Thank God we have the dogs.
Exactly. Favorite scary movie of all time?
Oh man. I don't know. Somebody sent me something on Freddy Krueger the other day, so maybe Nightmare on Elm Street's pretty scary. I can't think of any on the spot. That's just what I just know. Somebody sent me something on Freddy Krueger the other day, but it was scary back in the day. You know, I don't know about the acting.
Any more questions for Coach? Thanks, Coach.
No, thank you, Chet Yoder.
Moving on to our player portion of today's Mudbugs Media Luncheon, he was, as you could say, an integral piece of that brawl melee that kind of ensued on Saturday. And he also returned to the Mudbugs last weekend. We're glad to have him back. He was last year's captain, great leader for us for the Bugs, Liam Fleet. Questions for Liam?
You were a part of in the brawl. What's your bird's eye view there, Fleet? What's going on there? And you know, if you had to write down a police report, would you be able to tell everything that took place in there?
No, I got pinned up to the glass by Sotak, so I didn't really see a whole lot that happened. But just saw a lot of bodies flying around, and it was.
What was Sotak saying to you when did he say anything to you when he had on the ice, like you don't want to be a part of this, or
Who?
when I think Sotak had jumping against the
Oh,
ice? Yeah.
he was just like, please get in the box so I can go deal with whatever else, because Seminaire was throwing some haymakers.
He's seen a few things out there, I'm
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
What does it do for a team when something like that happens?
Well, with a team like ours, I think it helps get the bench going a lot, and a lot of the guys get fired up for the next shift. So for us, I think it's a good thing when stuff like that happens.
When Jonah kind of ran into the guy from New Mexico, was there something that was said between Jonah and that gentleman beforehand?
Not to my knowledge. I think it kind of was just in the heat of the moment. Things just kind of played out how they did, and I don't think anything was said though.
Like Soupy said, it didn't seem like it was a series that was going to end that way. Was there something going on that no one was aware of, that more trash talk than we thought or something?
No, I kind of came out of nowhere for us too. It was just end of a period. Guys' emotions are high. You know, you're playing hockey, so things happen. Someone gets hit, you don't like it. Teammates are going to come stick up for you. So it is.
What's been going well for this team the last couple of 3 weekends here, where you can just see the results are a lot better than they were?
Yeah, I mean, just at least this last weekend, a lot of the guys just seem really close and sticking up for each other. For example, that scrum, and I think starting to hone in a lot on a lot of the details, even though it's early in the season. Guys are starting to hit with their sticks on the ice, and you know, everyone's out there all the time working on just simple things like passing. So those types of things, I think, help us a lot.
Ask Subi, do you learn more from things that go wrong when you're shown on video what you did wrong, or when you're shown on video things that go right? Which one sticks with you more?
For me, it's really a mix, 50-50, because seeing the things you do wrong, obviously you can learn from it, so you can do better the next time. But seeing the things you do right, you know, okay, that's the right thing to do, so you can keep that going too.
Have you ever been inside this arena all by yourself late at night?
I can't say I have, but I've heard some stories.
What's the story that you like to retell to people, try to give them the heebie-jeebies?
Well, if you look up in the rafters sometimes, you might see something moving around, but I haven't seen it, but once again, I've heard stories.
Do you tell the other players from the other teams, hey man, check the rafters, and all
Yeah.
of a sudden you skate past under the puck?
Yeah, I'll just tell them to keep their head on a swivel. You don't know what might come jumping down.
Scariest movie you've ever seen?
It's got to say The Conjuring's up there for me.
Which one?
The Conjuring.
Okay, all right.
So that's pretty good for me.
What's that one? What's it about?
It's just a horror movie.
All right.
You gotta see it. See it for yourself.
Favorite Halloween costume growing up?
Favorite Halloween costume?
Yeah, what'd you dress up as? You're like, I
I was a Michael Myers.
well, there you go.
That was my thing. I had the little fake machete and went around doing that. That was me.
What's the biggest thing you missed about Shreveport?
Just the community, definitely. Just, you know, coming out of the hall where we come out, just hearing the cheers, the crowd, just everything about here is just really special.
you know, from you playing on the Mudbugs before and before going on long road trips, in essence, this Saturday, is there something to prove necessarily to the home fans before you go on that long road trip?
Yeah, I think it definitely helps. Like, you know, we go out there, we have a great sweep, gives the fans something to look forward to, whether they're following along, watching online, or for the next weekend at home, you know, helps them get fired up and just makes us play even better.
Any more questions for Fleer?
Moving on to our player portion of today's Mudbugs Media Luncheon, he's done a great job on our blue line, and he's also had a good scoring touch as well. He scored a goal on Saturday's game to help put away the New Mexico Ice Wolves and help the Mudbugs sweep. He's done a great job for us. Mudbugs defenseman Cole Hutchinson.
What was it about this weekend that you feel most proud about your squad?
You know, I mean, after the last weekend sweep, get another big sweep here. We're kind of on a roll, so it's pretty exciting for us after starting out the season not as hot as we wanted to.
How much does confidence play a role in a situation like this? Back-to-back sweeps. The fact that y'all are probably doing the same things that you were doing earlier in the season, but maybe there's just a little bit extra there or something. So how much does confidence play a role in getting a winning streak going?
Yeah, I think it plays a big role. I mean, when you're not confident, you're kind of hesitant, gripping your stick a little hard. I mean, having the confidence allows you to make those plays and play smooth as a team and really connected. So I think confidence is a big part in how well we're doing right now.
What takes a young team so long to gel together?
I think the level's just a lot faster. You know, guys are bigger. Guys aren't used to how fast the play is. So once everyone's kind of joined as a team and gets used to it, I think we all get on a roll and everyone fits in pretty well. So
When the whole shebang took place Saturday night, what's going through your mind?
yeah, I was actually on the bench. I got off, but the coaches were telling me to stay back because I really wanted to get in there. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I saw Fleeter taking a guy down. Jasser was over there throwing stuff. Semi's getting his helmet ripped off, starts throwing haymakers like Fleeter said. So for the guys on the bench, I mean, it gets them all fired up for the shift. I mean, everyone's watching it. Everyone's super into it. So really gets us hyped up. So it was a good thing.
How many times have you watched video of that fight? Have you seen video of it?
Yeah, I have actually. It's on Instagram, and I actually haven't watched it on film, but yeah, no, I've watched it a few times, so it's pretty funny.
You realize that you smile more when you're talking about watching the fight than you know about anything else.
Gets me excited, gets me fired up, so yeah.
In essence, do moments like that help fire up the team the rest of the season?
Oh yeah, I mean, you're gonna see him a bunch of times down the road playing the same team, so just starts that fire from the start of the game rather than the middle of the game, and then kind of have that history with the team, so definitely will fire you up down the road, especially going into playoffs.
No, you and Grapes live together. What's your video game of choice?
Yeah, you know, I mean, playing Fortnite, a little bit of NHL, so we also love watching movies. We flip through a bunch of shows. Been watching Outer Banks recently since it just came out. So yeah, after a long day, working hard at the rink, we like to kind of just sit back, relax, watch a show, talk about whatever, so it's a lot of fun living together.
Who's the better gamer?
Yeah, I'd say me. I mean, Grapes kind of hops on to have a little bit of fun, but I get on there and just run the show, so.
Who's the better DJ?
Grapes usually plays music in the car. I mean, I do think I have some great music, but I think we both have a similar taste, so.
What's the trashiest show that you're ashamed to admit that you watch?
Man.
You can say Love is Blind, or you can say Love Island.
No, yeah, I'd say Love Island.
Yeah.
I mean,
British, Australian, or the U.S. version?
U.S. version, I was watching it for a little bit, and that was kind of cheesy, so.
But now you're on season 12 or whatever?
Yeah, I got a few seasons in, and I was like, all right, I guess I'm really watching this, but yeah, I'd say Love Island for sure.
Have you ever been scared inside this arena when you're walking around, if you're by yourself, lights are out, you hear something moving?
Yeah, I was actually here last year, called up and Soupy was telling me there's some kind of ghost dog that lives with the dogs around here. So, you know, I was coming in late and I was walking through and all the lights were off and I didn't really know what was going on. So I just saw this little dog running around behind the other dogs and kind of jump scared me a little bit, but then it ran away and then I haven't seen it since. So it's just what I've seen.
So it's a ghost dog.
Yeah, it's a ghost dog.
Nice.
Big
All right.
canine.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good. Scariest movie you've ever seen?
Probably say Bird Box. It's all, I mean, no one's saying anything, and then all of a sudden there's a jump scare, so I'd say that. Yeah.
And it's made some really good gifts of, you know, just kind of looking around.
Yeah, exactly.
Favorite Halloween costume growing up?
I feel like when I was a kid, I'd always go into the Halloween store and try and pick the scariest costume possible with a big mask or something. But last year I actually dressed up as a duck. Thought that was pretty funny. So yeah, I'd say a duck.
Any more questions for Hutch? The coach mentioned a couple weeks ago how you guys build continuity as a young team on the road instead of being at home. From a player's perspective, how true is that?
For what was that?
Building continuity amongst the players on the road more so than being at home.
Yeah.
From a player's perspective.
Yeah, I mean, when you're on the road, sometimes when you're a younger guy, you don't get a bed to yourself, whereas older guys do. I mean, that's just how it goes, and it's all fun though. I mean, when you're young, you gotta do that for your older guys, and they give it back to you in other ways. So, but being on the road's a great time with all the guys, so it's really fun.
Any more questions for Hutch? Thanks, Hutch.
Last but obviously not least, our goaltender, he's done a great job last weekend. He had back-to-back shutouts. He's one of like less than 5 goalies now in the NHL Bugs era to do that, accomplish that feat in a weekend. He's won 4 straight starts. He's done a great job for his first-year Mudbugs goaltender, Aiden Garrity.
Is it just more comfortable? The puck's looking bigger to you. What seems to be the thing that's going so well for you right now?
I mean, boys are playing a lot better, playing a lot more structured, so they're making it easier on me. But then, I mean, I've seen a bit in this league, spending half a year last year. So kind of getting my feet wet last year, it's been easier this year. Kind of having a little bit more experience, so finally getting more comfortable and more confident throughout the season. So that's mostly it.
When the brawl took place, you're in your location here. Did you ever think about, hey, you and me, buddy, let's go, have a little goalie fight?
I mean, usually when they start going, I usually give the look down the ice, but none of them usually look back at me. So, especially if you're playing high, you can't go. But it's always a thought.
So what was going through your mind while that was all going on?
I mean, I was looking, saw a little bit start going on. I saw that kid hit Jasser up high. Jasser, gave him a cross check right in the numbers, sent him head first into the boards. And then some kid jumped off the bench, started going semi, and then I started skating back to the bench thinking not too much would come of it. Next thing you know, Semi rips his kid's bubble off and he threw his glove at his head. And kid hit him with a spinning elbow, so it was pretty interesting to rewatch.
Again, you realize how much you smile when you're talking about people wailing away on each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty fun to watch, so.
Yeah, I get that. What do these guys do? You talk about they're playing better, okay? For those that are like, okay, how are they playing? From a goalie's perspective, what is this team doing so much better perhaps now than they were 3 weeks ago?
I mean, they're making easier passes out of the zone, getting up ice, going to the net, scoring goals. And then, I mean, on the back end, they're soaking more pucks. Not many shots get through. I mean, harder to score if they don't get shots. So, but they're just playing a little more connected.
Before you got here, before you got here, did you and Elliott and Lescaro kind of talk, or you and other goalies in the league talk about kind of the lay of the land, how to play goalie over here in this system?
I never met Elliott, so I never met Nico either before I got here. So, but I've met other guys who've played in this league and other teams. So, just kind of talking to them before I ever got to Colorado last season was pretty huge, and talking to other guys in different leagues, kind of seeing how different it is, and then eventually getting my feet wet myself, getting here, meeting Nico, kind of talking to him a bit about how things go here and how we're treated. And we're treated pretty well, so that was mostly that.
What NHL goalie in the league is playing?
I'd say it's a mix of a few, but right now, I don't know who I like too much. I mean, it's a lot, but couldn't
Nobody
tell.
in particular?
Nobody in particular,
Just a
really.
mixture?
Yeah.
This place has got some history.
Yeah.
You know? Heard about ghost dogs, heard about things in the rafters. You have any stories?
No, I have none at all. It was the
Do you
first I've
want
heard
to
of it.
encounter something here?
No, not at all.
Do you like scary movies?
No, also no.
So, like, what's the movie that you refuse? If it comes on, you're like, I'm out, I don't watch it.
I mean, I'll tap in for a little bit if it's already on the TV, but I'm not going out of my way to watch any of them. So,
See, keep it out of your mind. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I like that. As far as your favorite Halloween costume growing up, what was it?
I think I was Woody from Toy Story at one point. That was pretty sick.
There you go.
Any more questions, Ray? From your days in Colorado before transferring over to Mudbugs, how did you kind of elevate your game?
I mean, kind of have to take it with a grain of salt considering we were a really young team out in Colorado. So kind of take the good and the bad and evaluate that after the season over. Took a bit of time off once I got back from the season. And then really tried not to change too much because I've had a lot of success with what I've done to get me to this point. So kind of took all of that with a grain of salt. Evaluated what I needed to change and just try to simplify my game. And then brings me to now. So.
Any more questions, Ray?
Thanks, Corey. Hope you guys come on out to George's Pond this weekend. Once again, hockey horror weekend, lots of fun stuff. Till next time, Palazzo.